Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people saying to me all the time, "Oh, when is it going to get easier?" When you die. Warfare is a normal New Testament Christian posture. Get used to it.
You got to be willing not to accept no for an answer. You got to have an attitude that God has an assignment and a destiny and a goal and a call upon your life, and you can't let nothing people say about you. No, you got to have an aggressive mindset. I got to have an aggressive mindset. I've got to have an aggressive mind. I got to have a mindset to say nothing's going to stop me. I got a charge to keep and a God to glorify. I got to press toward the mark of the high call in Christ Jesus. I gotta push on and don't let anybody or anything slow me down. They talk about me, they criticize me, they find fault with me, they don't like me. It's okay. Make up in your mind to be aggressive. B-E-A-G-G-R-E-S-E-V-E, whatever. Be aggressive. I gotta be aggressive. I got a mindset. You can't stop me. You won't hold me down. You won't deter me. My mind is made up. All the hell I've been through, all the work I done, all the prayers I prayed. You think your little mouth gonna stop me from pursuing what it is that the Lord has given me? Oh no! I don't know who I'm preaching to today, but we are leaving 2017 and going in 2018 with a mind that I'm gonna get and do what it is that God has for me to do. I gotta be aggressive. I got a mindset. You can't stop me. You won't hold me down. You won't deter me.
Fight back. You're a child of God. The royal blood of heaven is flowing in your veins. God does not sponsor flops, and He does not manufacture junk. You are a child of the Most High God. You're going to stand in the winner's circle. You're not going to be the victim. You're going to be the victor, because Christ is Lord over your situation. Only believe all things are possible for you. Hear this, an almighty, all-knowing, all-powerful God is sitting in heaven waiting to hear from you. David says that he has his hand cupped behind his ear, listening for his children to ask him for great and mighty things that we know not. He's listening for us to pull down the strongholds of addictions that enslave our families, to pull down the strongholds of abortion and pornography, to pull down the demonic forces that are destroying the government of the United States. So what does He hear from our lips? Oh God, watch over the parakeet and water the grass. Let me tell you something. When you walk through these doors and you lift your hands to pray, I want you to remember that you're talking to Almighty, all-knowing, all-powerful God, the creator of heaven and earth. The blast of His nostrils can split the cedars of Lebanon. He holds the seven seas in the palms of His hand. He weighs the mountains in a scale and the hills in the balance. You can ask Him for things so staggering, so big, that God slides out of His chair and sits on the edge and says to the angels, "Did you hear what He said?" Ask Him, ask Him, ask Him for things that are impossible, because with God nothing is impossible. Ask Him to defeat the giants in your life, because our God is a giant killer. Ask Him to divide the sea before you and to bury Pharaoh and watch Him turn your enemies into fish food. Ask Him to send fire from heaven as He did for Elijah, and He will. Ask Him to walk with you in the fire of the fiery furnace and be the fourth man in the fire, and He will. He said you will walk through the fire and the fire will not burn you. You will walk through the water and the water will not drown you. Ask Him. He's the God who cannot fail. He's waiting to show you great and mighty things. Ask Him. Pray, pray, pray. God in heaven wants you to have that power. You are made in the image of God. God is not a statue. He speaks, He thinks, He talks, He feels our infirmities. He answers our prayer. He's alive. He's Jehovah Shammah, the God who is there. He's Jehovah Nissi, the Lord who is our banner. He's Jehovah Shalom, the God our peace. Pray, pray, pray. God is in heaven saying, what do you need? Do you need healing? Ask in faith, believing, and I will give it. Do you need supernatural wisdom to make a tough decision? Ask of me, and I will lead you in paths of righteousness for your name's sake. Do you need peace that surpasses understanding? Ask, 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 for nothing is impossible to those that believe. No good thing will He withhold from those that diligently seek Him. Do you need the impossible? Then open your mouth. Open your mouth in faith, believing. You're not talking to the President of the United States. You're not talking to Bill Gates. Both of them together can't control their next breath. You're talking to the Creator of heaven and earth. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. He uses gold for asphalt on the streets of heaven. He moves mountains. He divides seas. He'll give you wells you didn't dig, vineyards you didn't plant, houses you didn't build. He will make you the head and not the tail, because nothing is impossible to you. Is as close as your next prayer. Prayer is the weapon that God has given His children to wage war in the heavenlies. Church of Jesus Christ, stop whining about the attacks on your life by the Prince of Darkness and put on the whole armor of God in Ephesians 6. Attack, attack, and then attack again, and then attack again, and crush him and drive him out of your life. If it seems to be hopeless, pray, 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 because God answers prayer. Moses prayed, and the sun was arrested in its courses by the hand of God as Joshua crushed the enemies of Israel. Elijah prayed, and forked tongues of fire laced across the heavens and consumed the sacrifice soaked with 12 barrels of water. Hezekiah prayed, and I'm talking about Old Testament prayer right now. Hezekiah prayed, and 185,000 Assyrians that surrounded Jerusalem, promising to slaughter every Jew in the sacred city. The next morning, Hezekiah rolled out the letter that General Sennacherib had sent to him, mocking his God and mocking the people of Israel. He pulled out his secret weapon, prayer. He laid that letter before the Lord and said, God, your honor is at stake. Let God arise and let his enemies be scattered. Your word said, he that keepeth Israel neither slumbers nor sleep. And that night, the death angel from heaven came and swept through the camp of the Assyrians. He smote the sentry standing at his post. He smote the infantry slumbering in their tents. He smote the generals as they made their battle plans to destroy the sacred city. The next morning, when Hezekiah looked over the sacred walls of the city of Jerusalem by the dawn's early light, he saw 185,000 dead men, because the angel of God passed by that night. Why? Because one man knew how to pray. He stopped an army and turned the destiny of a nation around, and you can too. Because Satan is a defeated foe. Christ has given you the keys of death, hell, and the grave. You are a child of God, and the royal blood of heaven is flowing in your veins. You are destined to be more than a conqueror through Christ. Think like it, act like it, and talk like it every day of your life. And believe that God can do the impossible. Jesus said, my house shall be called a house of prayer. If you want power with God, learn to pray. If you don't know how to pray, you will never be successful. I have preached the gospel of Jesus Christ for 44 years. I have preached in football stadiums packed, with 75 to 80,000 people. I have preached in the beautiful cathedrals of Rome. I have preached in the mud huts of third world nations. I have preached to millions of people around the world by radio and television. Why did it happen? It happened because my mother went to war with the devil for my soul in her prayer room, and the devil lost. She prayed me out of the fires of hell and into the gates of heaven. Prayer works. Try it.